What is up, everybody? Welcome back to this week's edition of NFL Scores. It's week 12. Got a fun matchup. I'm your host, Tony. I'm filling in for JDW. He's out for a little bit, but he's asked me to make predictions myself, and I was more than happy to oblige. We've got an exciting week this week. Starting off Thursday Night Football, we've got Steelers and Browns. Steelers come in, they're first place in the AFC North. I mean, Steelers really have, I think they've shocked a lot of people with how good they've been. I mean, really surprising. A lot of people really thought, especially in the second half of their season, that the Steelers wouldn't do good. I mean, they just beat the Ravens. The Ravens, in everybody's book that I've seen, are a top 10 team. I'm not terribly high on the Ravens, but it's mostly just bias because I really don't like that they can't get the job done in the playoffs. But a regular season Ravens is a good team for the Steelers team to beat. They'll play the Browns. Browns haven't had a really good season. Deshaun Watson goes out. Jameis Winston comes in. Everybody's like, he gets that first W for the Browns after he gets put in, and everybody's like, oh, maybe the Browns are good. I think this is a fun game. Well, I don't know. Fun game meaning it'll be close. It'll be a close game for sure. Steelers, Browns. This is a classic AFC North matchup. I feel like this is how I always think about it. When you play against the Steelers, you play the Steelers style of football. Mike Tomlin and co. are so good at getting you to play their style of football. Whether they lose, whether they win, they made you play their style. I mean, there are very few teams who can play the Steelers and still play their own brand of football. When you play the Steelers, it's usually grounded out. You're running the ground. Pounded out, not grounded. You're running it a lot, not tons of passing. They have really good defense. They run the ball. And, the Browns don't really have the weapons to attack through the sky. I'm looking for the Steelers to win this game. I think this score will be 16-10. If you look, the Steelers have a better offense and a better defense than the Browns. Not great, but great enough to be first place in the AFC North. That's my final score prediction for that one. Steelers 16, Browns 10. Moving on, we've got the Titans and the Texans. This should be a really fun one. Texans, they're doing what I think everybody thought they'd be doing. They're kicking butt in the AFC South. Just came off of a monster win in Dallas. Titans, they're reeling. I don't know what's going on in Tennessee. Will Levis probably isn't the answer. In fact, he's actually not. He's not the answer. The Texans are a complete team. The Titans, they don't have an identity, really. They really don't. I don't know. This obviously was a rebuild season. I don't think anybody thought the Titans would have expectations this season, but they're really not good. I don't expect them to beat the Texans. I honestly think the Texans kind of come away with a blowout one in this one. I think the Texans win 30-14. I think Joe Mixon plays really well. I think CJ Stroud plays really well, and that offense just kind of explodes for Houston. And Titans, they don't really have a great offense to explode. But 30-14, final score, Texans beating Tennessee. And then next matchup, we've got Vikings and Bears. This one, you look at it, it's intriguing, and it might be intriguing for about 2 quarters. I really think the Vikings will pull away in the second half, as long as they don't play like they did against Jacksonville. That Jaguars game, that game against Jacksonville was just hot trash. It was a dumpster fire. Vikings very fortunate to win that game. They probably shouldn't have. They were lucky it was against the Jaguars, because any other team probably would have beaten the Vikings after that offensive performance. But I like Sam Darnold. I really do. I think the Vikings are... This feels weird to say because I mean, going into the season, everybody was like, yeah, the Vikings are, 5-win team at best. They were, 5-0 to start the season. I think this Vikings team, I don't want to say they're for real, but they almost seem for real. I mean, at least as real as the Ravens were last season. Like, I think the Vikings are like a good comparison to the 2023 Baltimore Ravens. I think, they're going to get into the playoffs. They're going to be really hype. And then things might kind of fall apart once they start playing, the Lions, heaven forbid. But the Bears, not a really good team at all. Okay, they have a good team, but their coaching is atrocious. I mean, it's horrible. I mean, they can't. I don't know. They've just lost so many games that I would genuinely put on the coaching over anything else. Caleb Williams hasn't played bad. I mean, not bad. I mean, he hasn't played great, but he hasn't played bad. And I would mostly say that's the coaching's fault. I think Caleb Williams, he's too good for this to not be just bad schemes by the coaches. I do think the Vikings get the win here. I'm going to say 23-10. Vikings beat Bears. I think the Vikings aren't a great team. They're not. But they're good enough. They'll go to the playoffs for sure. Save it be an epic collapse. But they will. Bears, they'll need to turn it all the way. They'll need to wake up. Because, I mean, right now, I wouldn't, if I was on the team, have any will to play for those coaches at all. Just wouldn't. All right, final. Vikings 23, Bears 10. Moving on, Cowboys Commanders. I've been so looking forward to this. Mostly because I really think the Commanders are just going to whoop the Cowboys. The Cowboys have not played well this season. I mean, to say that is kind of an understatement. The Cowboys have played horrendously. Jerry Jones clearly doesn't know what he's doing. He's too busy yelling at podcast people. Instead of paying, or not paying, but getting players who are actually good at the game. I mean, why do we keep paying Dak? Dak's a mid-tier QB. He's maybe top 20. I don't even know if that. I mean, he's obviously out. So I mean, this isn't really. I don't know why I'm ranting about Dak right now, but he's not even going to play. But I mean, they do have a better shot of winning when Dak plays than Cooper Rush. I don't know. I really like the Commanders in this. Commanders high flying offense. Jaden Daniels really exceeding a lot of expectations. Washington in general is exceeding so many more people's expectations than anybody would have thought. I mean, they're contending for the NFC East. I mean, whether they'll beat the Eagles to get it, well, I mean, that'll be an exciting race down the season, I think. It's the NFC East crown. But as of now, they should handle the Cowboys. I think Commanders win 31-20 over the Cowboys. I think Jaden Daniels continues his Rookie of the Year, continues his, I'll say it, MVP bid against the Cowboys. Patriots, Dolphins, this is the fifth division matchup this week. Patriots, Dolphins. I think there's still more, but this is fifth that we've gone through so far. Every single one of them has been a division matchup. Patriots, Dolphins. If you're a fan of offense, I wouldn't watch this game. This has the looks to be of low scoring, ugly to watch. I mean, maybe is Tua playing this week? I don't know. If he is, then maybe the Dolphins can put actual points on the board. Okay, I think he's playing. I think Tua's playing against the Patriots. If he's playing, I think the Dolphins can put points on the board. I don't know. The Dolphins' offense has been really underwhelming compared to seasons past. I mean, Tua's struggled to stay healthy. I mean, that's not really his fault. I mean, well, I don't know. He struggled to stay healthy. And the Patriots, I like Drake May. I really like Drake May. Look, I mean, that's the thing. I like Drake May a lot. I really am excited to see what he can do. This is obviously a rebuilding. They're still rebuilding. But if they can just get the right pieces around him, I think Drake May is just going to be a stud. I mean, Drake May could be the next guy that everybody's like hating on, like they hated Tom Brady, like they hate Patrick Mahomes. I could say, I mean, yeah. I'm not guaranteeing that, but I could see it. I'm saying I could see it. But as of now, they're not. The Patriots, they're a hot mess. Dolphins, also a hot mess, but I think they're a better hot mess. I'm thinking the Dolphins win this 2019. It's a close game. Not tons of touchdowns scored, but yeah, it's not a barn burner. But I think the Dolphins will get it done. I really do. Moving on, Chiefs and Panthers. This one, it feels like it could be intriguing if the Panthers actually show. I mean, the Panthers, they're on a little bit of a streak. Beat the Saints, beat the Giants. I know those two teams are not great. But Chiefs just coming off of a loss to the Bills. These are the two possibilities that I see. Chiefs coming off of not only just a loss to the Bills, but their 2 games before that to the Buccaneers and the Broncos were 2 games that they easily could have and maybe even should have lost. Like, the Chiefs could easily be a 3-loss team right now. So they're kind of cold. Now, I know that the Buccaneers and Broncos are both better caliber teams than the Panthers and the Bills, too. Or the Bills are better than the Panthers. Not the Buccaneers and Broncos better than the Bills. And then the Panthers, I don't know. See, because I really think, 2 scenarios. Chiefs are reeling a little bit, coming off of 3 hard-fought games. One of them ended a loss. Panthers coming off 2 straight wins. This could either be a really close game because the momentum is shifting. Panthers have positive momentum. Chiefs have a little bit negative momentum. Or this could be Chiefs just lost to the Bills and they're freaking pissed off and they're going to blow the doors off of the Panthers. I could see either one. I don't think in either scenario the Panthers will win. But I think in that scenario where the Panthers have better momentum than the Chiefs, they keep it close. I will say that I expect the Chiefs' defense to absolutely just go blow the dozer off the Panthers. Right? The Chiefs' defense is really good. I don't think the offense for the Chiefs will play that well. They'll do it well enough that it's a blowout, but they're not going to score into the 35 plus. My final score prediction for Chiefs-Panthers, I'm going to go Chiefs 24, Panthers 6. But it could be closer than that. Watch out for it, not Panthers upset, but Panthers sticking with them at least through 3 quarters. Bucks and Giants. I don't know. I don't know how I really feel about this one. Buccaneers, they really need a win. They really need a win. Giants, they're probably tanking so they can get I don't even know what they want their draft to look like. They just benched Daniel Jones. So that probably means they want a quarterback in the draft. I'm not 100% sure, but the Giants are looking for the offseason, right? That said, the Buccaneers, They're just not hot. They're not hot. I still expect the Buccaneers to win. It's just how close do I think this game is going to be? Do I think the Giants stay in it with the Bucs? Or, okay, rather, because I think the Giants are... Do the Bucs stay in it with the Giants? Like, do the Buccaneers just keep shooting themselves in the foot, which means they can't really pull away from the Giants, which they absolutely should do? I don't know. I'm high on the Bucs. I think they're a playoff team. They're a playoff caliber team. I know that they've, had injuries, but I think the Buccaneers, definitely Bucs win this game. It's just how close is it really going to be? I think the final score, Buccaneers 31, Giants 15. I think the Buccaneers will have a good game this week. I really do. Coming off the bye, they should win, right? Lions Colts. Now, I think a lot of people would expect that the Lions just come in here and absolutely bulldoze the Colts. And to those people, I say, let's just calm your horses, right? Colts are not a great team. They're kind of like a sneaky team. The Lions are a great team. I have them number 1 in my power rankings this week. Oh, I mean, they really are. The Lions are such a freaking good team. They're so much better than... they're built on offense and defense. And while you could say the Chiefs are built on offense and defense, their offense just hasn't been playing that well. Patrick Mahomes just hasn't been playing that well. But Jared Goff has, and so has the Lions' defense. They're coming off of a monster win over Jacksonville. Absolute monster win. And I think they, most typically would keep that going against a Colts team that's struggling. They got Anthony Richardson back, and we saw him rally the Colts offense with a game-winning touchdown against the Jets. That said, Jets and Lions, not the same caliber of teams. But I'm going to be honest. If the Lions, if Jared Goff ever has another game like he did against the Texans, I don't think they pull off a win. 5 interceptions, they shouldn't have beat the Texans. But I definitely don't think they'll win another game if he throws, a lot of interceptions. And I think this feels so crazy to say. I'm picking the Colts to upset the Lions. I don't really know why. I just want to. I just want to. Not even for any reason. I don't even hate the Lions. I don't even like the Colts. I'm just going to pick the Colts to win. I think this will have the same score as the Patriots-Dolphins game. I'm going to pick the Colts to upset the Lions 2019. I know I'm crazy, but it feels right. Watch the Lions just absolutely obliterate the Colts, but I don't care. I'm picking the Colts to win. Moving on, Broncos-Raiders. This is the game I'm looking forward to. I really hope I'm a Broncos fan. I hope the Broncos win. Obviously, I picked the Broncos to win. Bo Nix is playing out of his mind. The Raiders, they're probably with the Giants. They're looking toward the draft. They're not making the playoffs. It's already, it's week 12. Yeah, they know they're not making the playoffs. However, it is a rivalry game, so the Raiders probably will want to we beat you, Broncos. I really hope not, but the Raiders are a team that would do that. Even in a tank season, they'd still give it their all for their rivalry games. Bo Nix has just played so well, man. Look, I know what the media is saying that Jaden Daniels is just running away with the rookie of the year, but I'm gonna be honest. Bo Nix is a sneaky pick for that. But now this might be my Broncos bias, but I'm being for real. Bo Nix, he hasn't been consistent, but in the games where he has been good, he has been good. It's just he's not consistent enough. I don't know. If he can have a really good stretch here, down the stretch, I think he could arguably win Rookie of the Year. I really think he could. That said, I think we got to win back-to-back games here against Falcons and Raiders. I'm picking the Broncos win 27-17. Cardinals Seahawks. This game should be so fun. I'm not even going to lie to you. This game should be so fun. Two birds in the NFC West. Cardinals Seahawks. Oh, Cardinals first place in the NFC West. They're in the driver's seat. They got everything going for them, except they're incredibly inconsistent, as is every team in the NFC West. Seahawks, they came off of a win last week against the 49ers, which was huge for them. I mean, absolutely huge. Now they just need to keep the momentum going. They have to beat another division rival in the Arizona Cardinals. It's a home game for them, which is really good. Do they get the job done? I think they do. I like Geno Smith. I think Kyler. This is just a really fun game. I definitely could see Kyler Murray just balling out. I could see it. The Seahawks have so much momentum after beating the Niners, and I think that continues. Seahawks. Every team in the NFC West has playoff expectations at this point in the season. Nobody's like, all right, better pack up for the offseason. Every team's in there. This division is wide open. This is a division that, looking at the beginning of the season, you're thinking at least 3 teams could make the playoffs. At this point of the season, you're thinking maybe the second place gets a wild card, but really the only guarantee to make the playoffs is to win the division at this point. And the Seahawks, I know that this team fights. The Seahawks they're an aggressive team. They always have been. I like the Seahawks to win this week against the Cardinals 24-20. 49ers Packers. Another really fun one. Packers coming off a blocked field goal win. What a win by the Packers. And the 49ers coming off a loss in the final seconds to the Seahawks. Which, as huge as it was for the Seahawks to win that game, it was huge for the 49ers to lose that game. But it was huge it took a big shot at their playoff hopes. At this point, if you're the 49ers, you have to expect that the only way you're making the playoffs is to win the division. You're probably not going to get in there as a wildcard team. If you want to get in there as a wildcard team, it starts by beating the Packers. Like I said, I don't think they'll get in there as a wildcard team. If the 49ers make the playoffs, they'll probably have to win the division, which probably means that, the NFC West will only have one team in the playoffs this year. That said, if they can make the wild card, but they'd have to be another wild card team like the Packers. This is a fun game. I really think it is. It's at Lambeau. This should be quite the exciting matchup. I still think the 49ers are the Packers' daddy, and until proven otherwise, I'm going to always think the 49ers are the Packers' daddy. Picking the 49ers beat the Packers 27-23. That's just... I really think that the 49ers will beat the Packers. They're looking for another win. They have to get back on track. They need to. You got CMC back, finally. Now you just have to win games. You're mostly all the way healthy, I think. Yeah, Brandon Ayuk's still out, but you have to win this game against the Packers. This is a must-win for the 49ers. If you want any shot at a division, at a wild card, any sniff of the playoffs, you have to start against this game against the Packers. And I think the 49ers win 27-23. Sunday Night Football. Eagles-Rams. I don't know. Maybe this will be an exciting game. This is a primetime spot. I don't know. I feel like this could be just a regular... I would personally put 49ers Packers in Sunday Night Football spot. But Eagles-Rams should be a fun matchup. I'm not expecting too much from the Rams. I know that... Personally, I don't know that I have high expectations for the Eagles, but I have high expectations for Nick Sirianni. This guy is a Super Bowl caliber coach. He went to the Super Bowl with the Eagles. He's not a bad coach, but if he wants to that Philadelphia fan base, if you keep screwing up, they want you're on the hot seat. You're on the hot seat after apparently 2 bad games, because they've only lost 2 games. Now, I think they've had probably bad games, but only 2 that ended in losses. But the Eagles probably need to play really well. They've got the NFC East. They're in the driver's seat for that after beating Washington. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be. I don't think that one game against Washington shows that much. I think the NFC East is still down to those 2 teams. I think it's going to come down to week 17 or 18. Maybe I'll be wrong, but I think it'll just come down to the wire. I think the Eagles will beat the Rams. Rams are in the same boat as every team in the NFC West. They really need to win games to have any chance at a playoffs. You can't really lose games. I just don't think they're better than the Eagles. I just don't. Stuff that at this point in the season, when every game is a must-win game, you're starting it out with the Eagles. I don't think the Rams are better than the Eagles. I think the Eagles will win. Whether, their coaching is good or bad, I think they'll win. 21-16 is my score prediction. Yeah. All right, moving on. Monday Night Football. Ravens and Chargers. Now, this has the potential to be really fun or really just a blowout. It depends not only on what version of Lamar we get, if we get, Action Jackson, or if we get whatever version of Lamar we got last week. And it also depends on what kind of Chargers show up. If we get the Chargers that showed up against the Bengals, Chargers are in this game. Chargers are in this game for sure. If they get at least the offense. I don't expect the Chargers defense to play necessarily very well, but their offense better, or else they're going to lose this game. I don't think the Chargers offense shows up, with all being said and done. I think this looks like a fun matchup. Chargers coming off a huge win against the Bengals. Ravens are coming off of a huge loss to the Steelers. And last time the Ravens lost to a team that they don't really like, which would be against the Browns. Ravens and Browns don't like each other, let's be honest. The Ravens went and dropped 41 on the Broncos and held the Broncos to 10. When they lost to the Chiefs. That's a bad example because the Raiders actually beat the Ravens 1 week after that. And then the Ravens barely beat the Cowboys by 3 points. But then they went and dropped 35-10 against the Bills, and the Bills just beat the Chiefs. So I don't really know what's going on there. Ravens, they're an inconsistent team, but they're really good when they are good. I think the Ravens do blow out the Chargers. I'm going to say 27-10. And yeah, those are my Week 12 NFL score predictions.